Okay, so what do you have to say about what people have lost? People have lost more than we did.
Oh, man. I just feel sorry for them. You just think something's got to be done about this. You know?
We rented with the option to buy, and we lost a lot of our things, and we started getting sick, and we didn't get bad credit or lose our house. Um, and we weren't there for 5 years with babies that had respiratory problems, but there's other people we've been reading the last couple hours on that, their babies were on medication all over the place and in the emergency room having trouble breathing.
Developed asthma. Yeah.
And dog died. And
people have lost their kidneys.
Of course, the doctor wouldn't say that it was definitely caused by one thing or another. And I read a story about a couple a few weeks ago. They both, within like a certain amount of time, they both had sinus surgery, which is kind of weird. I would definitely something going on there.
Have migraines.
Migraines, nausea. Of course, I was puking all crazy the last few weeks before we moved out of the house. Mm-hmm. And I wonder why the EPA doesn't have. They've got programs for lead and radon, all that stuff, but I want to promote the EPA making a guideline, which means it would be a federal guideline, which means anybody that doesn't tell or doesn't clean, doesn't tell that there's a home, disclose it. I'm so tired. There's a meth lab.
There needs to be a list.
Or they didn't clean it.
There needs to be a list.
That.
Period.
They knowingly move someone into a toxic home.
People need to be able to make choices based on the facts. If they don't want to move to a meth house or buy a meth house,
well,
they need
if
to know
the EPA made it a strict guideline like they do with lead-based paint and asbestos, then it stands that anyone breaking those rules would thereby be breaking a federal law. Why can't that happen? If they're so worried about my ceiling and asbestos coming down when it's being scraped, and the proper handling of those items as they're being removed from the home, why couldn't they easily say, this is what happens to, this is what has to happen for a meth house? Proper permits, whatever, make it an EPA guideline. That way, no matter what, if you break an EPA guideline, you're breaking a federal rule. And that's what I say. I think the EPA needs to have it on their guideline list.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And there needs to be a list of meth lab houses, period, and it needs to stay on there because, hell, you don't, even if you got a clean report, you don't know that it's been cleaned properly.
Well, it should be on an open database list, and it should be easy to find. That way people can say, let me take a look at these people that cleaned its credentials, the people that test it. The final testers is where it comes down to, really, because it doesn't matter. Like in our case, everybody from the bottom up lied, but the bottom line testers, like Bob with Quest Environmental, Quality Environmental Service, Quality Environmental Systems and Technologies,
but
Bob Woellner.
You should have the opportunity to retest.
Yes, well, the final testers, we should be able to see what's, the open documents of the homes on a list. The final testers look at them, look at their credentials, look at their history, because as it sits right now, even the home we just left is up for grabs. They could rent it out, and no one is going to do anything about it. The city knows it's been fraudulently done. They're not doing anything about it. Now, if ours was on a list, a proper list, that was not just, because it's been deemed that they are not allowed to hold lists if it's been properly cleaned, but that's another story. Well, then the next people that they go to try to maybe sell the house to, whatever, rent with the option to buy, they'll be able to see my maybe I could attach something onto that. There needs to be some sort of a system. So when we research these people, I'm so tired. We can look at their credentials. We can see who's got problems possibly or complaints. It gives people at least an idea of the probability that they either have a high probability that they should retest it, or that they feel really safe and confident of that company. But Gobble Hayes, who did the preliminary assessment on our rental with option to buy, is a national company, and I have no idea how many people they have working for them, but I'm going to investigate that too. But, okay, if they're doing such a bad preliminary assessment on a home with missing documents all over the place, including the necessary police report, it was not gotten at all. And what's to say that they're not doing it right in California and they're doing the same botched jobs everywhere? Can someone tell me that? So so this video will be about for putting meth lab, decontamination, proper regulations and guidelines into the EPA laws.
Needs to be some standard laws and guidelines.
Just like lead, just like asbestos. That's what this video is
Because the
about.
states are not taking care of it.
And the fact that we're so tired. But I am working painfully, right?
Yes.
Hours and hours.
Sleeplessly.
And when I do sleep, I'm dreaming about the statutes. So I'm still technically working and getting tortured at the same time.
So you should get paid while you sleep.
Everybody send me $1. Maybe I could get some help. Nobody's helped us but a couple of angels.
And maybe some sleeping pills.
Maybe some natural herbal sleeping pills for my husband from the health food store. Those seem to work pretty good for you.
Yeah, except I'd have to get up the next morning.
Yeah. Usually by the time he's up, he's already up. Or the time you're supposed to be up, you're already up. And I'm up way before that. EPA.
Sleep tight.
Tired.